chapter from Geography, chapter 2, that is latitudes and longitudes. In the previous video, we have seen more about the Earth, its shape, motions, two poles and parallels or latitudes. And the most important, that if we know the latitudes and longitudes of a place, we can easily locate it on the globe. Children, for example, you can take that if we know the latitude and longitude of any place, like New Delhi, the latitude and longitude of New Delhi is 28.6139 degree north and 77.2090 degree east respectively. Now we can locate New Delhi on the globe easily because we are knowing latitudes and longitudes both. In the same way, we can locate other places also on the globe. Okay, now we will move forward towards our next topic, that is other 4 important lines of latitude. Children, there are 5 important lines of latitude, but about equator we have studied earlier, so in short we will see equator. Now you see on the picture important lines of latitudes. Number 1 is Arctic Circle, that is 66.5 degree north. Number 2 is Tropic of Cancer, that is 23.5 degree north. Third and the most important is the equator, that is 0 degree, which divides the earth into 2 equal halves. Number 4 is Tropic of Capricorn, 23.5 degree south. Number 5 is Antarctic Circle, 66.5 degree south. These are the 5 important lines of latitude, children. One by one we will study about these and know. Okay, all these 5 latitudes play an important role in the relationship between the earth and the sun. First one is, children, first important line of latitude is Arctic Circle. Now, the Arctic Circle is one of the 5 major circles of latitude. It is the parallel to latitude that run 66 degree 33 minutes 44 seconds north of the equator. This is too long, children. We have to say it in short, like 66.5 degree north of the equator. So, the Arctic Circle marks the southernmost latitude in the northern hemisphere, at which the sun can remain continuously above or below the horizon for 24 hours. See the picture, children. Arctic Circle in the north is, the red line is the Arctic Circle. The Arctic Circle in the north is unique from other regions on the earth. Why it is unique? Do you know? Because the sun is above the horizon or below the horizon. Either it is above or it is below the horizon for a full 24 hours during the solstice in June or December. Okay, here you must know the meaning of solstice, children. This is new for you. There are 2 types of solstices in a year, children. Summer solstice and winter solstice. First, the summer solstice. Summer solstice means the day that the Earth's north pole, you can see in the picture, is tilted closest to the sun. It is also the day that the sun reaches its highest point in the sky. This is the summer solstice, when the north pole is tilted closest to the sun. It is the closest to the sun. Now, what is winter solstice? It means shortest day of the year. You can also say when the Earth's northern pole is tilted farthest from the sun. When the northern pole is closest to the sun, then it is summer solstice. When it is the farthest from the sun, then it is winter solstice. So in June, the sun stays out constantly for an entire day and it is completely dark for 24 hours in December. Take the example of Norway. Now it will be clear with the example of Norway, children. Norway is called the land of midnight sun. Do you know why it is called the land of midnight sun? It is because The northern part of the country, the northern part of the Norway country is located above the Arctic Circle, where the sun shines 24 hours a day from midday to midnight. Means at midnight also you can see the sun in Norway. That is why this place is called the land of midnight sun. Our next important latitude is Tropic of Cancer. The Tropic of Cancer lies 23 degree 26 minutes 16 seconds north of the equator. Again we have to say in short 23.5 degree north of the equator. People living north of the Tropic of Cancer experience dramatic seasonal climatic changes based on the Earth's tilt and the subsequent angle of the sun. When it is summer north in the Tropic of Cancer, it is winter south in the Tropic of Capricorn. We will see in detail, children. This parallel, Tropic of Cancer, is the farthest point. This point is to be noted, children. This parallel is the farthest point north at which the sun can be seen directly overhead at noon. This is the Tropic of Cancer. You see, this line is the farthest point north of the equator at which the sun can be seen directly overhead. If we will move beyond this point, we cannot see the sun directly overhead at any point beyond this line. Okay, so this region experiences dramatic seasonal and climatic changes only because of Earth's tilt. Why this seasonal and climatic changes occurs there? Because of the tilted axis of the Earth. Okay. So when it is summer in north of Tropic of Cancer, it is winter in south of Tropic of Capricorn. See in the picture, summer in the north of Tropic of Cancer and winter in the south of Tropic of Capricorn. Now the third and the most important parallel is the equator. This is at 0 degree and divides the earth into two equal halves or hemispheres. Equator gets direct rays of the sun, and this is also great circle. So for more about equator, children, you can go through my previous video. In detail I had explained in that video. Now we will move forward towards the fourth important parallel, that is Tropic of Capricorn. So Tropic of Capricorn you can see in the picture. See, now the Tropic of Capricorn lies 23 degree 26 minutes 16 seconds south of the equator. Again we have to don't take it so long, we can take it easily like 23.5 degrees south of the equator. This parallel marks the farthest point south at which the sun can be seen directly overhead at noon. Children, I had explained in Tropic of Cancer also that like Tropic of Cancer in the north, in the same way Tropic of Capricorn is the farthest point south at which the sun can be seen directly overhead at noon. South of parallel, the sun appears less than 90 degrees from northern horizon at any day of the year. The sun reaches its vertical position over the Tropic of Capricorn at about 22nd December, the summer solstice for the southern hemisphere. So it is the farthest parallel at which the sun can be seen directly overhead at noon, and if we are moving a single degree south of this parallel, the sun appears less than 90 degrees from the northern horizon at any day of the year. Means, let me clear, children, means the sun is not overhead. The sun is not overhead beyond this parallel any single day of the year. Now this is all up to Tropic of Capricorn. We will move towards fifth important parallel, that is Antarctic Circle. The area south of Antarctic Circle is known as Antarctic. So the area that is south of the Antarctic Circle, children, is known as Antarctic. See the red line is the Antarctic Circle, and to the south of that Antarctic Circle, middle portion is the, which is written Antarctic plus South Pole. This is the Antarctic. Okay, every place south of Antarctic Circle, every place between this line, circle, okay, experiences a period of 24 hours continuous daylight at least once per year and a period of continuous night time at least once per year. So this portion experiences 24 hours continuous daylight, children. 24 hours daylight and 24 hours continuous night, same as Arctic Circle. Okay, in the Arctic Circle I had explained, same thing is here. 24 hours continuous night time at least once per year. Or we can say like this also, there is one whole day during which sun does not set and one whole day sun does not rise. This is all because of tilted axis of the earth at 23.5 degree. Latitude is measured in degrees, children. Many of the times I had repeated the same thing, degrees, minutes and seconds. So it is very lengthy process, and it is, we can say like this also, that minutes and seconds are used for finer measurements. Okay, minutes and seconds are used for finer measurements which we don't need now. A degree is divided into 60 minutes. This you have to learn. A degree is divided into 60 minutes. 1 minute can be divided into 60 seconds. So a degree is divided into how many minutes? 60 minutes. And 1 minute can be divided into 60 seconds. Now, what are the effects of latitude, children? We will see the effects of latitude we have studied so far. So, that is the climate of a region depends on which latitude is situated. Again, children, that the effects of latitude is the climate of a region depends on which latitude it is situated. It is seen that how close the latitude is or how far the latitude is. Okay. On which the region is located from the equator. So it can be said like this, children. The region which is located near the equator and the region which is far from the equator, the climate of these two places is totally different. If the latitude is close to the equator, the region is warmer, and if it is far from the equator, it is colder. Simply, the reason is that the closer we are to the equator, the more direct rays, sun rays are coming. But even ocean currents and weather patterns also affects the climate. So beside the equator, beside these things, even the ocean currents and weather pattern also affect the climate. So children, this was up to effects of latitudes. Now we will move forward towards a very important topic, that is heat zones. Heat zones. Now see, heat zones of the earth. Children, you can see in the picture how many colors you can see. You can see three main colors: red, yellow and blue. These indicates the three heat zones of the earth. Now, the earth has been divided into three major heat zones. These are torrid zone. This is the torrid zone. Red color is torrid zone. Temperate zone. Yellow color is temperate. It is written here also, temperate zone. In the northern side also, in the southern side also. And the last one is the frigid zone. It is also called polar zone. It is in the northern side also and in the southern side also. These three are the main heat zones of the earth. So we will see one by one about all these. The torrid zone is the area of the earth between the Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. You can see Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. This red part is the torrid zone. The torrid zone contains abundant rainfall, green plants and trees, and various varied animal life. The sun is directly overhead at least once during the year in the torrid zone. Okay, the torrid zone contains area of abundant rainfall. It also contains area that are the hottest place on the earth. Children, the most important feature of this zone is that the sun is directly overhead at least once during the year. The sun is directly overhead at least once during the year. It receives plenty of rainfall. This area receives plenty of rainfall, so this area is warm and moist. Almost every day after 2 p.m. there is heavy rainfall. And the other name of the torrid zone is tropical zone. So we can say torrid zone as tropical zone also. This area is hot and wet also. We can say the climate here is warm and moist. This area receives abundance of rainfall, so it is very rich in vegetation also. So this is the torrid zone. Now we will move toward the temperate zone, that is the yellow portion you can see on the screen. Yellow portion is the temperate zone. It is in the northern part also, in the southern part also. Okay, now the temperate zone encompasses much of Europe, most of United States, New Zealand, southern Chile and East Asia. These are the countries we can see in the temperate zone. Now, temperate zone can also have deserts, children. Temperate zone amounts for 7% of the world's surface land. Land surface is about 7% and 4/10 of the population. So 4/10 of the population is there in the temperate zone, both temperate zone. Temperate zones tends towards rich vegetation because of their mild climate. Deciduous trees are most common in these zones. Children, 7% of the world land surface is in this zone and 4/10 of the world's population is in this zone. So now we can calculate accordingly. Okay, it has rich vegetation because of mild climate. Because of very mild climate, vegetation is very rich here. That means not very hot and not very cold. This area is not very hot, not very cold, because it is beside the poles also and beside the equator also. We can say moderate climate is found in this zone. Now come to frigid zone. This zone is also called polar zone. You can see in the picture, blue part is the frigid zone or the polar zone. The area that lies to the north of Arctic Circle, that is 66.5, above 66.5 degree, and to the south of Antarctic Circle is 66.5 degrees south. South of 66.5 degrees south is called the frigid zone. This area, the blue part, is called the frigid zone. There is no sunlight and these areas are frozen for most part of the year. But areas north of Arctic Circle are indeed habitable. For instance, Murmansk, Russia. Murmansk is in Russia, children, is home for almost 500,000 people. Due to months without sunlight, residents of the city live under artificial sunlight. So the people living in this area, this reason they use artificial sunlight, because there is no sunlight found here. Very less sunlight. Many months they are without the sunlight. Now, moving forward towards our next important topic, that is meridians or longitudes. So the children see on the screen meridians or longitude. This is very important, children. So listen carefully and watch also carefully. Longitudes describe the location of a place on the earth. See the long lines. Longitudes, you can identify by this long longitudes. Okay, longitudes describe the location of a place on the earth, either east or west. East, this is the east part and this is the west part. East of the prime meridian and west of the prime meridian. So the lines running north to south, lines running north to south to go through the poles. They are starting from the pole, north pole, and ending to the south pole, are called lines of longitude or meridians. They are called lines of longitude or meridians. Now, what are meridians? Tell me, what are meridians? Lines running from north pole to south pole are called meridians or lines of longitude. You can remember it, learn it also very easily. Okay. Again, it is the number of degree. Again, it is the number of degrees east or west of the prime meridian. Again, it is counted in numbers or degrees east or west of the prime meridian, which is at 0 degree. So prime meridian is at 0 degree. Red line, you can see the red line, dark red line, that is prime meridian. It is at 0 degree and passes through Greenwich. This prime meridian passes through Greenwich. Okay, Greenwich is a place, children. So it is also called, this prime meridian is also called Greenwich meridian. Because of this Greenwich place, Greenwich, this prime meridian has been given the name Greenwich meridian. Okay, the prime meridian and its 180 meridian. So when we will start counting from east. From east we will start counting. We can see 180 meridians are there, and in this also, in the west also there are 180 meridians. It is not visible, children, because it is not possible to show all the meridians here. It will take big space. So this prime meridian and its 180 meridian, which is at 180 degree longitude. I had explained in my previous video also. It is just opposite to the prime meridian. What is that? It is 180 degree longitude. The name of that meridian is, we have given the name IDL, that means International Date Line. Just opposite to the prime meridian is the longitude of 180 degree, that is named as 1ILD, International Date Line. Together this prime meridian and ILD, International Date Line, or you can say 0 degree and 180 degree, okay, form a great circle. As the equator forms the great circle, in the same way the prime meridian and the International Date Line forms the great circle that divides the earth into eastern and the western hemisphere. This is the eastern hemisphere, east of the prime meridian, and this is the western hemisphere. In short, you can understand like this, children. Prime meridian and meridian at 180 degree, which is just opposite of prime meridian, forms the great circle. In simple words, it is, and divides the earth into two hemispheres, eastern hemisphere and the western hemisphere. Clear to all? These meridians are semicircles. All the meridians are semicircles, children. As we have studied that parallels are full circles, but the meridians are semicircles running from pole to pole, means north pole to the south pole. Prime meridian is the reference from which the counting starts. We have taken prime meridian as the reference point. so that we can start counting or whatever we can start from there only. Okay, for example, we can take a point P anywhere on the globe. We can take a point P anywhere on the east or on the west, anywhere on the globe you can take. So this P is the angle of meridian. So wherever you have taken, suppose we have taken here, okay, so this P is the angle of meridian. So we have taken this point. So this P is the meridian of again you see children. So this P, wherever we have taken, this P is the angle of meridian, either east or west of the prime meridian. Simply we can say it is a angle of meridian. It is an angle of, if P is to the east of prime meridian, the longitude is positive, and if P is to the west of longitude, then it is negative. So again you see, if P is to the point we have taken is to the east of prime meridian, the longitude is positive, and if P is to the west of the prime meridian, then it is longitude is negative. So we will see longitude angle can range up to plus 180 and minus 180 degree. Again children, longitude angle can range up to plus 180 and minus 180 degree. Longitude, and again you see, pay attention, and plus 180 and minus 180 degree longitude meridians coincide directly opposite the prime meridian. This means opposite, just opposite to the prime meridian, it is a meridian of 180 degree, that is called international dateline. That meridian is also plus 180 degree and minus 180 degree. Again you see, means when we are moving east of prime meridian, plus 180 degree, and when we are moving west of prime meridian, minus 180 degree, will be the same line. Okay, plus 80 degree and minus 180 degree will be the same line. That means international date line. So up to this children, meridians up to this. So now moving forward, come to grid. The Earth's grid. What is grid children? Network of parallels or meridians on the globe. You can see in the picture, this is the network of parallels and meridians you have read earlier, but together they form a network. Okay, the Earth grid is a network of parallels and meridians on the surface of the globe. It is visible on the screen. The Earth has a geographical grid. The Earth has a geographical grid. This grid is found on flat maps on the globe. Okay, this grid is found on flat maps and on globes. Okay, it is a pattern of horizontal and vertical lines. This grid is the pattern of horizontal and vertical lines. These lines intersect at 90 degree. Okay, geographers use these coordinates to locate places. This grid or this network is used by the geographers to locate places on the earth, on the map and on the globe. The vertical lines are called lines of longitude or meridians, and lines of longitude or parallels are the horizontal lines. We have explained everything in this. We have seen each and everything in this video children. Everything is clear. So stay tuned children. We will proceed further in our next video.